I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
Now we find ourselves back again. I've got things prepared for us, but we should probably start by saying it's bloody hot in here.
We're in a bit of a warm turn. Yes.
Yeah. When I say in here, we're in different places, but I can definitely say where you are is going to be hot as well.
It is, although this time of day it does get a little cooler up here in the mountains.
Does it?
Yes.
Oh, it's balls down here.
Yeah, you in your little wooden box down there.
Yeah. So, yes, it is a little clammy.
Yes, nice.
Yeah,
yes,
so
claggy, I think is another term that
is it a
works
technical term? Yeah.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's happening. So bear with us. We are melting a little.
A little bit unexpectedly warm for the UK. Yes.
So I have a cold cider that's hopefully going to soothe me.
Yeah, you've done well there. That is the correct drink.
I thought so. No, I did very well. So I've got three statements for you, and you got to. The pressure's on this week because we're sat at 4-2 here.
You're ahead.
Yes.
And we've set each other some quite evil ones the last few weeks, so I'm expecting these to be absolute swines.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
We'll see. I'm poised to make my notes.
Okay.
So, as ever, I am making notes, not Googling.
No, we are very good like that. We don't do that.
We don't cheat. No.
Awfully well behaved.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to hit you with the first one. So, Spandau Ballet drummer John Keeble almost missed performing at Live Aid because his Talbot Sunbeam Lotus broke down on the way to Wembley.
That is certainly plausible. Oh my word! Okay, it's a fine choice of vehicle.
Oh yeah. We should commend him for that, shouldn't we?
Okay, right. Okay, that's a good one.
Okay. As we know, the production version of the Jaguar XJ220 used Rover 200 rear lights.
We know that, yes.
We do know that.
That is not in doubt. We know that, yes.
That is a cold, hard fact.
Yes.
However, the concept car actually used Vauxhall Senator rear lights.
Okay.
I
don't know if I've ever seen the XJ220 concept. I probably have.
I have. I've stood next to it. I think I've had my photo taken with the production car on one side of me and the concept car on the other.
It is one of your special favourites, isn't it? The XJ220. You're a bit into that. Yes.
Yeah, I do like that. And statement number 3. The doors on the Jaguar XJC were made by cutting up 2 XJ saloon front doors and welding them together.
Now, I think I might have heard that somewhere.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. It's risky using Jaguar facts because it's a brand I'm quite familiar with.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where you know what? I'm going to do it because I'm just going to... It's one of those ones that's going to sit and niggle with you, I think.
Yeah, that is a tricky one. Oh, okay. Now, I don't know any of those for a fact. Okay, let's think about this now. A Lotus Sunbeam breaking down at a key moment. As I said, that is very plausible. The fact that it's Spandau Ballet's drummer is is almost just a bit of window dressing to that fact, because it's entirely possible that a Talbot Sunbeam messed around with by Lotus is probably not going to be the most reliable drive of your life.
It's plausible, isn't it?
It's very plausible, that. Very plausible. Yeah. And linking it to Spandau Ballet just makes it even cooler, doesn't it? So,
Well, yeah,
okay.
Romantics in there, lovely.
Oh, there you go. You got to do it. It's extreme. The number one this week is you couldn't have made it more 80s if you tried. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, XJ220 concept used Vauxhall Senator rear lights. Now, does the XJ220 come from the Ford era? I think it does, doesn't it?
Just about, yeah.
Would Ford have allowed them to use Vauxhall parts even on a concept? That seems unlikely to me.
Well, again, I shouldn't be helping you, but obviously, everyone and their mum used the what was it, the Citroen BX wing mirrors, which were on the XJ220.
Yeah, true. That one sits less comfortably with me. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that one. If it was anyone other than Vauxhall. Again, I don't know. It just doesn't. Like you with Colombo's Peugeot last time, it's kind of that. Just I can't put my finger on it. That just doesn't ring true.
It's all right. You're allowed a gut feeling.
Now the XJC, which is a gorgeous car. That is a fact. Now it won't have been a big budget thing because it was quite a low volume vehicle. Although they've become very popular now, they didn't make loads of them in period.
No, that's the thing, isn't it? It's popular, but it's not because there's lots.
No, although the XJCs do seem to have survived a bit better than the ordinary saloons, probably because they were a bit more special, a bit more expensive, a bit more exclusive. Maybe people have looked after them a bit better. I can absolutely believe that they would make the doors by welding two saloon doors together. That's very Jaguar. Okay. I'm just going to go for it. I think this week I'm not going to agonize over them anymore. I think I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to say Lotus Sunbeam breaking down is true. I'm going to say XJ220 concept using Vauxhall Senator rear lights is false. And I'm going to say XJC doors is true.
Very good. Right. Okay. So it's time for the grand unveil to go right. Are you on the clawback or are you on the bollocks?
So far behind, I may never catch up. I think that's where that'll be.
So I can reveal that you have clawed it back.
Yes.
There we go. We're back at 4-3. He's only gone and done it.
There we go. How about that?
So yes, you are completely correct. John Keeble did nearly miss Live Aid because of a bloody car, and the Talbot Sunbeam Lotus shitting itself on the way.
Wonderful.
Yeah. The XJC, the doors were indeed welded together from two front doors of an XJ saloon.
I think I've heard that. I don't know if it was when Harry did his restoration of his
Possibly.
XJ. I got a feeling they might have mentioned it there because they stripped that back to bare metal.
Yeah. So that's a really good point, because the weld line is visible on the inside of the door.
And a lot of
when it's
Harry's
covered
car
in trim.
Obviously. No. A lot of Harry's car was stripped back to bare metal because they found quite a lot of rust in it, didn't they? So more than he knew about. So I'm sure it was mentioned during that series that he did, that they had achieved the longer doors by welding two saloon doors together.
Yes, and the the concept version of the XJ220 did not use Vauxhall center rear lights. However, it did use Vauxhall rear lights. They were from Carlton.
Oh, no!
Yeah.
That's evil. Okay, so the reason I rejected that one actually isn't the right reason, but it doesn't matter.
No, just the wrong model of Vauxhall.
Wow, I'm amazed but I guess when you're building a concept that you don't even know is necessarily going to be made, anything you can get your hands on will do.
Yeah. So there we go.
Wow.
Right back at you for next week then.
I've clawed it back a little bit. We're still neck and neck.
Yep.
So if I can trip you up next week, they're really everything to play for then.
Yeah, that's it. You could tie then at that point.
Yeah. Pressure is really on for next week. Then I've got to get you 3 absolute sods.
Well, I've come to expect it now, and I almost want it, because every time that you've given me bastard ones, I've somehow muddled my way through it. Not necessarily through knowledge, though, just purely sort of.
There's been an element of luck, but we all need that. I actually don't think these 3 this week were as bad as some others you've thrown me.
Not too bad. All right. Okay, that's fine.
I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that.
No, we can step it up a bit. It's not a problem.
Oh, I've just looked up a picture of the XJ220 concept, and you're right. The lights are completely different to the finished car.
Yeah, the rear end is quite different on those.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Different enough to be like obviously need different rear lights. So.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, nice.
Very good.
Yeah, very good indeed. Who'd have thought Jaguar would use Vauxhall bits?
That's just any old shite they can get their hands on, I would assume.
It does look like it. Yeah. Oh, very good. Very good. Excellent work on those. Well done.
Yeah, happy enough with that. So we did say last week that we should actually sort out a Renault 5, shouldn't we?
We should. Yes, because we spec'd up our new Morgans, didn't we? We got a lovely pair of Morgans between us. Which is not a
euphemism.
It's not a euphemism. No. Nice Morgans. We said we'd spec up a new 5EV.
We did, and I have done. I would say
I have done too.
I would say off the bat, it's a lot quicker to do a Renault 5.
It's a bit limited, isn't it? I was quite disappointed actually with the lack of options.
It's not as bad as when we fiddled with those MGs, was it? We were done in 2 seconds.
There weren't any options.
No. But I suppose mass market, keep it simple, more profit margin in less options.
They certainly do seem to have done that, yeah. I get the whole simplicity of building, and that will contribute towards its remarkably good price. Although I wish I hadn't seen they were offering it at 0% APR. That's dangerous, that is.
They are. I mean, they want a half decent deposit for that.
Yeah, they do. I know, but even so, it's quite a good deal. But yes, yeah. I have spec'd one up.
Yes. Okay. Very good then. Right. where are you at with it? Because, like we said, there's limited options. So let's have a look. Because I mean, I've seen a few on the road now, and I'm starting to understand the differences.
I mean, I went through the specs on here to see what you get with the various models that you can choose, and you do have to be quite careful because there's some things I would consider quite important features that just don't exist in some of the specs. So the little compare your version button that they've put in there was quite useful for comparing exactly what you do and don't get with different. You can have the two specs side by side, and there's a little checkbox to say just show me the differences. It's quite useful for seeing exactly what you do and don't get. So that was quite good. But yeah, okay, well let's go through it then.
Where did you end up?
Well, I ended up with the larger battery version. I wasn't gonna muck about with the smaller one, which is denoted by the power output on the configurator. It's the 150 horsepower one.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. That gives you the bigger battery. That gives you the 52 kilowatt hour battery, which in a car that size is quite a lot.
Yeah, not too shabby at all.
No, indeed, 250 mile range WLTP, so you could expect that to be somewhere around the 200 mile mark in the real world.
That's fair.
Which is not too shabby. So I went with the larger battery, the 150 horsepower version, and then I went with the Iconic 5 version rather than the Techno.
So that's essentially spec level, really, isn't it? That's what these bits are. Yeah,
the Techno is a little bit basic in certain areas, I felt. I noticed a number of the comfort options, like heated seats and things like that, are deleted on the Techno version. So I thought, well, if I'm having a brand new car, at least allow me to warm my buns.
Yeah, I was going to say it's definitely important, isn't it?
I think so.
We're at a point in life where we'd like a warm arse from time to time.
Well, and my last few cars have had it, so I think I would miss it now. And like I say, we're not getting any younger, are we? And being able to warm certain areas of a cold morning is important.
Oh yes. Very good. That probably leads us into your colour choice, doesn't it?
Yeah, which again is disappointing. The Techno version actually has more colour options. Once you move up to the Iconic 5, you only get 4.
Yes.
And they're not just it's not just a colour, it's a combination of colours.
Yes, because you get your main body colour, you get a roof colour, and then kind of an accent colour, don't you?
An accent trim colour that goes above the windows. Yeah, and I couldn't quite get what I would have had if I was able to spec those differently, if you see what I mean. The sort of combinations. It's a bit. I wasn't quite getting where I wanted to be with it. I kept choosing the different options and things. But as I say, the higher up the range you go, and if you go for what's the top one? The
Roland Garros.
Yeah, that one. The higher up the range you get, the fewer trim and color choices you seem to have, which is like you can only have the yellow interior. Well, I probably would expect the black interior, but if you have all the other options like heated seats and things, you can only have the yellow interior, and it's like, I know we're working to a price point here, but I know this isn't a Porsche Taycan, but
no, you can't configure it within an inch of its life. But yes,
no, you can't. But
so
anyway,
what exterior colour did you end up with?
I ended up with the diamond black with the red roofline.
Okay. Yep, I know the one.
Yep. I didn't want the white. The blue is a bit boring, I thought, and I didn't really want the yellow either. So yeah, I ended up with the black and red.
Righty-ho.
And your good self?
Yeah, this is a good point, which probably let's do running alongside one another. So this is, oh God, this is not very entertaining though, is it? Because I've got exactly the same powertrain, so the 150 horsepower. I've chosen the iconic 5, and the only bit where we've got some difference so far is I did pick the yellow.
You picked the yellow, fair enough.
Yeah. I thought let's go lively with it, because the only ones I've seen are lively.
I've only seen the yellow and the green, which is what made me again partly go for the black, because I don't know that many people will.
Probably not.
No. Although, as we know, solid blacks are horrific to look after.
Yeah, that's a pain in the arse. They do offer some stickers and decals. Did you opt for some?
They do, but again, no, I didn't. I couldn't find anything that quite. Because if you go for because it puts decals on the roof as well.
Yes.
And I thought, well, you go for the yellow ones, and then you get the yellow decal on the roof, and you get a yellow piece on the side. What do they call it? Front door decal.
Yes.
But the accent line around the windows is still red. I thought, oh well, yeah, but the interior. You've then. I did that messed with my. You've got a yellow interior, you've got yellow accents on the roof and the doors, but then a red stripe. I thought, no, can we? What if I can't have that in yellow? And if I choose the red door decals, then I get a red stripy roof, which I don't want. I'm all right then with the door decals and the accent line matches, but I don't want the stripy roof, and you can't delete the stripy roof, and then. I couldn't, again, like with the exterior colour, I couldn't quite get what I wanted.
It's awfully complicated.
It's only because they're predefining certain things, and you can't choose elements separately. So in the end, I ended up with, I mean, you have to have some decals. You can't have any. So I ended up with the number 5 white. What do they call it? Number 5 white and red iconic front door decal. So I've just gone with the red door decal because it matches the accent line.
Yep.
So
that's fine. Whereas I went ballsy. I went, well, I've got a yellow car and a yellow interior, and I've got red bits around the doors. So it's like bollocks to it. I might as well stick some red stickers on the roof and throw some more into the mix.
Oh, you're going all out with it, aren't you? I'm just going to do that on mine to see what that looks like. Oh, blimey, it's a bold roof, isn't it?
I'm all over it.
You're loving that, are you? Yeah.
Yeah, bollocks to it. I've gone brash with the colour. I might as well have an unnecessary roof as well.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but I'd want to see, because if they're decals and they're not doing it with paint, I'd want to see how that ages. Because there's a risk that could look awful in a couple of years' time, and you're going to end up spending an entire weekend picking them all off.
Yeah, that's a problem for another day, though. It's all right.
Well, it is. Yes, that's a future you issue. Yes.
Yeah, they'll be all right. It'll be fine. What that does do, though, is it highlights the fact that like you've said, we're now into the sort of wheels and upholstery, and go, well, there's no choice.
There's no choice.
None.
One set of alloy wheels, one set of upholstery. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got nothing there, and then some of the most tedious interior options.
I know. What a collection of rubbish.
I'm just sort of skimming through and going, all it is lids for the central storage bin.
Lids and different little things that you can use to configure the central storage bin differently. Yeah.
So between the front seats, there is a hole, And what they do is they sell you plastic tat to partition the hole or put a lid on it.
Quite expensive plastic tat, actually. I mean,
Oh yeah.
what have we got here? A 5-way organizer, £42. I could 3D print something that would be better than that.
Yeah. Oh, and once they've moved past the central storage bin, there are some essentially covers for the lever, like they call it. They're calling it the shifter. It's like no, it's a stalk.
Shifter. Yes,
it's the stalk for changing. Well, I say changing gear, making it go forwards or backwards.
Yeah. You don't. That's this. Like you said, all of this in this section is just tat.
And none of it I bothered ticking.
No, I didn't want any of it. I was going through it. I thought, this is just rubbish. All of it. Nonsense. It's rubbish. Yes.
Yeah. But it comes back to the price point, doesn't it? They're keeping it simple. Moving past that, they've got a dash cam pack, and I'm all right.
No, thanks. If I'm going to put a dash cam in it, I'll sort that out afterwards. Thanks.
Yeah, not fast. A protection pack for the seats, just so you're all right if you soil yourself. So is that probably be all right?
That's probably more important for you than me, but at 272 quid, I think if you could just hold it in till you get home.
Yeah, I mean, I do my best. We got one thing that I thought I better tick the box for because I've got no other choice. If this is hypothetical, if I were to go through with the purchase, but it's the charging cable for domestic sockets because I don't have any other option. At home.
I think that's really mean to not include that.
Yeah, it's a bit pointless, isn't it?
And I know it's a slightly different price point, but Tesla include that for free. You get that in the boot.
Yeah,
because I had one of those when I had my Model S, which I might have kept when I sold it, but we're skimming over that. So I didn't tick that box because I don't. I've already got one.
Okay. Well, I don't, so it's a necessity for me. So I've had to tick it. I passed on the mud flaps because they look shite.
No mud guards. No, absolutely not. I certainly don't need a bike mount for the rear.
A 2 or 3 bike mount, yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Leave that on all year round.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Removable tow bar? No, thank you.
No.
What are you going to tow with one of these, for goodness sake?
I know. What is the towing capacity? What are you doing with that?
They gloss over that if you click the extra information, they don't bother telling you.
It's quite an important figure to have if you're planning on fitting that particular accessory.
You could tow a tiny trailer filled with very, very light bedding.
Yeah.
I think that's your lot. Yeah.
Yes.
And then the audio and navigation, which I found highly amusing, which was like, it was just sort of
no. What?
It's just sort of tat, really. Going, there's a rear tray, or there's a vent in the car that has got like a magnetic holder for your phone. No, you're all right.
What have either of those things got to do with audio or navigation?
Neither. I was expecting like some banging tune sound system, but no.
I was expecting an audio system upgrade, maybe some Sennheiser speakers, something like that, a nice Harman Kardon system in there. But no, it's more tat.
Absolutely. So what that's led us to is a really, really basic selection there.
Well, it has, hasn't it? But because there kind of is so little choice. That's what's been disappointing about this, is that there is so little choice, and of the choice you get, you're locked into certain combinations of things.
What it does sort of illustrate. I mean, let's get to the, because I genuinely think we've probably ended up at roughly the same price, give or take a charging cable.
I think so. Yes.
Oh, actually, no. I think your paint's included.
Oh, have I chosen the?
I think you've chosen the freebie
paint
one. Yeah. Okay. So I've got my final price is 30,775.
Yes, I am in under that at 28,995.
Yeah, which makes sense because my paint is 1,200 and I've got 180 quid for a charging cable.
Get 180 quid charging cable. Oh, I bet you could get one cheaper than that on Amazon. But
there we go.
For the convenience of it, I that's fine. For the convenience of it, I do think it's a bit mean they're not including that. I said it again. That's just tight.
Yeah, it's a bit naughty. But I mean, I get that it's limited selection, but I also understand now why the ones that I've seen on the road are actually the techno ones, because
yes,
you get better thing. I like the colours are better, I'd say.
The colours are better. You can't have that lovely green in the spec that we've chosen. But as I say, nor do you get things like heated seats. And little things like that I would miss not having.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. But yeah, I think it's a hint of compromise, but it's probably okay.
Yeah, I think so. It was the speccing process was a little bit disappointing. I thought, and the fact that certain colours are removed as you go higher up the range,
that's weird.
That is weird, isn't it? It's like, well, what if I want the green? Let me spec the green. I'll pay extra for it. But no, can't have it. Yeah,
really weird.
Don't understand why they've done that.
It doesn't detract from the fact it'll still sell like hotcakes.
Oh, it still
is selling like hotcakes.
It is selling like hotcakes. I think it's a brilliant little car. And I think the price, even the prices we've come up with, I mean, that's a bargain.
Yeah, it is.
I know we are still in our heads are stuck in a place where a Ford Focus should be 15 grand. We're never going to get past that. That's just where we are. But those days are gone. So
yeah, we have to look past the fact that we are old men. So that's okay. All right. Well,
I think that's lovely, though. That's such a cracking little thing. It really is.
So it's give or take 30 grand, isn't it? Depending on what you poke.
Yeah. Yes, you can have one from 23, but it really hasn't got much on it for that price. In fact, I was just going to pop into the.
You'd probably still be having a lovely time.
Oh, you would. Let's get. There actually is one below Techno. There's Evolution, which I suspect is even more basic. I didn't look at that actually, but let's just see. What do you not get on the Techno compared to the one we've chosen, the Iconic 5? You do not get you do not get the automatic braking system. Well, I probably wouldn't be too fussed about that. Or hands-free parking. I think I can manage with that as well. You don't get child locks in the back. Well, that may or may not be important to you. You don't get the electrochromic rearview mirror. You don't get blind spot recognition. You don't get the adaptive cruise. You don't get the black interior. That's not an option. You don't get the heated seats. You don't get the heated steering wheel. And you don't. In fact, the front seats aren't electric at all. They're manual sliding back. So
I don't mind that so much.
No. But there's quite a lot of stuff they've taken out on the lower one.
Yeah.
But there you go. It's fine. It's meeting a price point.
Yeah, and I think that's fine. And it's not going to hurt it in any way because, despite them being hard to get hold of, I can't stop seeing them now.
And the Evolution, the basic one, is the one with the smaller battery.
Okay. That's
the difference there.
Right.
The 120 horsepower, 40 kilowatt hour battery. So that's. Do they give a range on that? Don't think they do. I can't see a range on that. Anyway, it's going to be less. But
I would have thought so. Yeah,
probably more like 150 miles range. But again, if you're using it as a town local journeys car, that's still plenty.
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely fine. Okay.
Interesting. Interesting spec choices, but I think that's fantastic. I've enjoyed specking that up.
Same place. Yeah. What's also interesting is news. I don't know if it was this week, possibly last week, but the Renault 5 Turbo 3E has properly been confirmed. So it's coming 2027, and they've opened reservations at £135,000, and I think they're all gone.
Yes, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah, I did see that. That is unbelievable. Yeah.
That's strong money, but yeah, there's plenty of people out there who've got nostalgia and a good bank balance. So,
see, that's what this has got, hasn't it? This has the same thing that the Mini had when it was relaunched in 2001. It harks back to what was an incredibly successful car in period, is now something that a lot of people who are now at a point in their life where they have a little bit of disposable income could maybe consider a brand new car, who will have a huge amount of nostalgia for this.
And
that shifts cars.
It does. I mean, like you say, it shifted the Mini. Do you remember it shifted the Beetle when VW brought that back?
It did, and that was earlier, of course. Yes, it did.
That was a smidge earlier, wasn't it? I think.
It was. Yeah, it was.
Not by much, I don't think. But so much so, people were importing left-hand drive ones, weren't they?
They were, weren't they? I remember that. Yeah. And weren't put off at all by the little vase with the plastic flower in it.
No, I know it well.
An interesting accessory, a no-cost option, you might say.
Kaylee had her Beetle, and it had the pot with the flower. That was lovely.
Yeah.
I've
always thought that of all the cars I've owned over the years, I've always thought they'd be enhanced by a little vase with a flower in it.
It's just really difficult because for a very, very brief period in time, that was the only car we had.
Right. I think you remember you telling me this.
Yeah.
Yes.
And me driving that, my goodness me.
Because it was a convertible, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That really helps, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That really helps.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Oh dear. What a thing.
Really, really helped the image, that, I'm sure.
Yeah, all right. I mean, it was transport. We have to be grateful for that, I suppose.
Well, there you go. Absolutely. But yes, nostalgia does sell. The Fiat 500 had it to an extent as well.
Yeah.
And it does sell. And I think this has come along at just the right moment. The Zoe was kind of running out of steam.
It's just, let's face it, it's fucking boring.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's like you look at some of the other stuff, you go, Honda E, all right, compromised, but at least interesting.
Yes, granted.
The Mini EV, bit pricey, but still interesting. But the Zoe, it's got nothing, is it? Like I've been in couple now, and every time I get in one, I go, this is tedious because it doesn't. Just doesn't have the get up and go that you expect.
Not at all. Well, we drove one round Silverstone. At Fully Charged Live a few years back, and yeah, exactly that.
Just, I mean, because the first time I went to one, I got a lift in one, and I'm like, you just expect that sort of in an electric car, just a hint of urgency, like pulling away from the lights or something like that.
No,
it's got nothing.
No, didn't have that. They prioritised the range, not the performance.
And actually, the range, it's got bugger all.
No, not at the time when it was launched. It was quite good. It was over 200 miles range. Really? Or available with a version that would do 200 miles.
Okay.
I'm sure it was. Okay. No, the range on it was the one thing it had.
Yeah.
But again, you see so few of them.
And it's like you look at the 5 there, and you go, at least they've made it. It's great to look at. The interior is. It certainly looks like a nice place to sit. I'm very much looking forward to sitting in one. Whereas the Zoe, oh my God, you could get in and fall asleep.
Yeah, I admit it wasn't the most interesting car. I noticed Johnny Smith has an R5 on a long-term test.
Ah, lovely.
So he's got a yellow one, I believe. I don't know what spec it is. But
okay.
So that will be very, very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Johnny will do it fairly, won't he? I know he's a fan of EV, but he won't just be gushing over it for the sake of it.
No. If it's crap, he'll say so. But I think the chances of it being crap are quite slim.
No, I don't think it'll be crap, but I think he'll be honest. That's the main thing. So
yeah, I think he will.
If it does have its downsides, he will let us know.
Yeah, I'm glad to see they've ditched the whole battery rental thing that they did with the Zoe. I know why they did it. Yeah, it was, and there's still you've got to be this is edging towards consumer advice here, so we want to be careful. But if you are looking for a used Zoe, be really careful because some of them look really cheap. But when you go into it, it's because you're not buying the battery, and there is a monthly rental that you have to pay Renault for the battery. I know why they did it. It was to try and counteract the whole Top Gear, you got to replace the battery every 5 years nonsense. And to get people into it, they were saying, okay, well, you don't buy the battery, then we'll keep the battery. You just rent it off us, and if it needs replacing, we'll replace it. Now we know what utter nonsense that was.
Yes, yeah, a hint of drivel there.
Yes. So if you are looking for a Zoe, or you think, a really cheap EV, and there are some, for really keen prices out there now, but just be careful because you may find that those have rented batteries.
So on those, I'm aware of the scheme and how it works, but I've never really delved into it. But can you buy out of it?
No, I don't believe so. No. Okay. No, I think that's it. That's how it depends how the car was bought brand new.
You're locked in, so to speak.
Yes, exactly. Yes, quite. Please don't do that. I wouldn't take it to court, but I don't believe so. No, I think that if that's how that car is, then you're stuck with it.
Okay. All right. Well.
And you do see Zoe's advertised for like sort of $5-6 and you think, ooh, that's edging into the sort of money where you might consider it, even if it's boring. But it's probably because you're not buying the battery.
Yeah, which is a fact. Do you know what the monthlies are on them?
It wasn't huge. I seem to remember something like 30, 40 quid, something like that. It wasn't necessarily a deal breaker, but there really is no need.
No, it's enough to be annoying, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, I'm not sure because obviously we never did it. We've not had a Zoe, but
We didn't pull the trigger.
We certainly did not. We just drove on around Silverstone and said thank you very much and went back to looking at Model 3s. But yes, it wasn't a colossal amount. It wasn't hundreds per month, but it was an amount that would make you, like you said, it's a slightly irritating amount.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the principle of it rather than the amount.
Well, and it's so unnecessary.
And I get
the batteries don't wear out.
I get that there was a lack of confidence, and to some extent there still is. It's something that you still hear mentioned, going, well, the batteries won't last very long. And well, yeah,
except
they're lasting.
Yes.
They are lasting quite a while. It's like, yeah, don't get me wrong, they don't have an infinite lifetime, but they'll be kicking about for some time yet. Don't you worry.
Well, neither does an internal combustion engine.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Things wear out.
Yeah, and I think there's enough solid evidence now to know that they're not wearing out anything like as rapidly as was originally claimed. So they degrade rather than actually out and out fail in most cases. A total battery pack failure is really unusual.
I think the absolute worst case scenario is like you could buy an incredibly early Leaf and you've got shit all range, but everything else you're probably all right.
Yeah, in fact, Nissan actually do now offer a battery upgrade for the original Leaf. It's not cheap, but I believe Nissan will now replace the original battery on your first gen Leaf with a brand new one. So
interesting.
If you were so inclined, you could have that upgraded. But it's not cheap. It's probably cheaper to just buy another car.
Yeah, I would say.
But if you're really attached to your first gen Leaf,
it did a lot for the world, but I still can't get past the visuals.
No, it's a hard one to love. But as you say, it kind of was the first of its kind, and you can get them now for $5-6 grand. They're and yeah, all right, it may only do 50 miles range, but for some people that's enough.
Yeah, I mean, it would be enough for me, but I don't want one.
No, obviously you're different. I wouldn't propose one for your good self, but you do see them around. You do still see first gen Leafs around. People are still using them.
Well, there you go. It's case in point. The batteries aren't utterly buggered, are they?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. There's Tesla Model S's out there with over 400,000 miles on them, on the original battery. Yeah,
which is, I mean, fantastic. But they come with their own issues, not necessarily from a technical perspective.
There's perhaps other issues with that now, which is so disappointing.
I did see, quite interesting, I don't have it to hand actually, it was a passing glance at an article about how devastating the global sales of BYD were in 2024 compared to Tesla.
Yeah.
Or it was a big difference.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Oh yeah.
I'm so disappointed by what's happened to Tesla, and I feel sorry for everyone who works at Tesla because it's not their fault.
No, that's it. It's like every morning they get up and go, "Oh, someone's put shit through the letterbox again."
All they've done actually is build a really good product.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's a maniac who's all over PR.
I know. It's so disappointing.
Anyway,
but
No, it's just, I tell you what, though. I mean, it's interesting that BYD are doing so well, but Christ, I'm really struggling. I had a quick skim through the range, and there's absolutely nothing there.
Is that going to be our next challenge? We have to spec up a BYD.
I mean,
have to find something in the range you'd be prepared to live with.
Yeah, yeah, all right. I don't know if I could go the whole hog of specking up. Just go, is there even a model that you could willingly accept?
I haven't actually looked. I'm not that familiar with their offering, other than I know it's increasing and seems to be doing quite well.
Well, you see them quite regularly now, which is ridiculous.
Yes, you do. Yeah, you do.
All right. Well, that's the next challenge. Do that for next week. We don't have to delve into it. We just go, is there anything that they offer that you quite fancy?
Okay, we'll have a look. We'll have a look. In the meantime, we will put our configured Renaults on our Discord chat.
Yeah. Oh, you saw that. I followed through with my promise.
You did. You've done well there. Yes.
Yeah, I did it. So yeah, we'll drop the configured Renaults in.
Yep.
I'll tell you what. Rather than just promising it, I might just do it now.
Yeah, I'm already ready to go. I've already pasted mine in there. So.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I was doing it while we were talking.
Oh, that's okay then.
So if you want to pop yours in, I'll pop mine in as well.
Maybe. Thinking about it.
Maybe, if you're tiny brain.
Oh no! It turns out that no, my brain can't do it.
You can't do that. Okay. Who likes mine more than yours? Oh, Rob has, of the Morgans. Rob has chosen mine by the look of it.
Well, it's incorrect, isn't he?
He is. Oh, your image is considerably smaller than mine. I don't know why.
It's not a willy waving competition. Is it called? It's fine. No, that's So there you go. Well, you can argue amongst yourselves, but I think I've picked the right one there. Okay.
I don't think actually there's a wrong one.
No, you're probably
to
right.
be fair. Yes.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Okay. All right. Well, that's for next week. We've got a few things for next week. It's time for you to hit me with your statements to try and trip me up.
We've got to come up with some good ones, haven't I?
BYD are taking over the world, but do we want to drive anything of theirs or be seen in them? And I do believe I've got some more would you rathers kicking about.
Right. I was chastised over the last one for not taking it in the spirit in which it was intended. So I will try and not find loopholes this time.
No, that's right. We don't want any of that. No loopholes, kindly. That was just ridiculous. Yeah.
I like to look for options. That's what I do. I look around the problem. I look for. Yeah. What is it they call it? Thinking outside the box or something.
Oh, yeah. Thinking outside the box. Blue sky thinking. Yeah, running it up the flat. All of those.
Hoping you weren't going to use that one.
All of those, yeah. We'll have none of that, thank you.
No, any of that here. No. We take things on face value here. We do not come up with clever solutions.
None of those are clever. That's just cheating.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, as it was explained to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. You got a right old telling off for that. So yeah, none of that.
I did.
You will behave this time. No, that's good. Right, we got those sorted. We've got our tasks for next week. So yes, we'll see if we can be converted to Chinese car lovers. We shall remain skeptical, but we'll see how we get on. Well, you never know. We might be pleasantly surprised.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.